It's been a tumultuous day for Congress, for law enforcement, for election watchers, for our nation's National Guard, and for our soldiers deployed overseas. For a little bit of context on today's news, we're joined by our regular guests. From the Brookings Institute, Craig Bollmer.
Morning.
Frequent contributor to MSNBC, Pat Kilpatrick. Former congressman from the state of West Virginia and advisor to the Romney campaign, Dick Jones. Chairman of the nonprofit Americans for Legal Justice, Steve Downs. Funny woman and the host of E! Entertainment's female comic roundup show, The Very Breast in Comedy, Caroline DeVasco.
Hi.
President and CEO of the Sailwinds Green Energy Initiative, Joan Allsworth. Former Bush White House communications chief, Brad Douglas. Outspoken country music star and outlaw through and through, Larry Lone Star Healy.
Howdy.
Erstwhile former candidate for president of Mexico, Ernesto Delgado.
Hola.
Founder of Silicon Valley startup Seedups.com and outspoken advocate for child attorneys here and abroad, Gary Cooperoff III. Former Secretary of State, Kevin Chandler. Our resident web expert here at the show and the guy who ghostwrites all of my tweets, Pat Bell. Author of the barnstorming new biography, The Entertainer, The Life and Times of Billy Joel, David Manners. Professional wonk from the Transparency Project, who incidentally owes me $75 on bets from Wimbledon 2007, Don Wurzburg.
Hi.
President of Citizens United against Citizens United, Nicole Weiss. Chairman of the Foundation for the Preservation of Gulls and the Sanctity of Gull Privacy, Keith Zoller. Author of the new book, The Word Tax Does Not Appear in the Constitution, Bill Wallace. Professional firebrand and the host of HBO's Polititalk Live, Doug Spence.
Hello.
You may be one of the millions who follow her homemaking blog, The Frontier Woman, or you may just be one of her 15 children, Dee Jacobson. Okay, let's start with the election. Now, new polling shows that we're in a statistical dead heat. Do you think there's any chance that this will be a contested election?
The BS of A with Brian Sack.
Good evening and welcome to the BS of A. I'm your host, Brian Sack. Halloween's just a few days from now, so I thought it'd be fun to talk costumes with someone who knows a lot about the subject. So joining me from HalloweenDesigns.com is Mitch Martino. Hello.
Hey, Brian. Thanks so much for having me.
You must be really busy this time of year, I'd imagine.
Yeah, very, very busy. But, you know, it's an exciting time of year. This is when we get all our work done. We're proud to say that we carry the scariest Halloween costumes in the country.
Okay, that's quite a claim. Can you back it up?
I hope I can. Okay. With permission of the old network censors.
Oh, sure, don't worry about it.
Yeah, let's bring one up here.
Okay. All right, now that's something I'd like to talk about, because with all due respect, you know, Halloween's more and more becoming about people just dressing in sexually explicit costumes, you know, whatever. But now they're pushing this kind of behavior onto kids, and I can't get behind that.
Well, I'd agree with you if this was a sexy witch costume for kids, but it isn't. We like to call this one girl pushed into sexual awareness too early. Think about it, Brian. What's scarier than thinking about the hyper-sexed environment that kids are raised in these days? Ugh, Halloween. Actually, that's not even the scariest. You want to see another costume?
Yeah.
They get better.
Okay, that's exactly what I'm talking about. That's just an excuse to be a sexy Marine, sexy nurse, sexy whatever, you know.
I gotta say, I'm surprised that you find this costume sexy, Brian. This is our potential oncologist unable to overcome society's opinion of her body costume. The fact that her physical beauty has become a curse, relegating her to being a sexual object to creeps like you, is so tragic that it's scary.
Okay, I can get behind this one. This is nothing too in your face. It's just classic Halloween crazy guy.
Really, Brian? The 4-point restraint that this costume is based on has been outlawed in every industrialized nation. What's scary here is our attitude about mental illness. You know, we know so little about the life of the mind, and yet we're so quick to stamp out that mystery with violence and institutionalization. That's not even the worst one we got. You want to see really the granddaddy of all of our costumes?
Okay. All right, Mitch, I appreciate that this one isn't, you know, sick or sexy, but I gotta say, it's not especially scary either.
Well, then I'd have to say you're a braver man than me, Brian, you know. to say that you're not scared that you're headed to an afterlife that you can't possibly comprehend, one in which you might somehow become trapped between this dimension and another one. The very concept of infinity, having an everlasting soul that would, sort of by definition obliterate everything that your limited human mind has come to understand about your universe and how that it works. Trying to have a role inside that kind of sea of insanity is...
Mitch Martino, everybody. Thank you, Mitch.
This also comes in Sexy Ghost?
Yeah, we'll be right back.
Hey, liberal guys. How would you like to spend time with a beautiful woman?
Are you man enough for my economic fantasies?
A woman who chose this lifestyle is just waiting for you to call.
Don't worry, I'm on birth control. And no, I didn't pay for it.
Share the night and learn all her intimate secrets.
I'll do whatever you want, as long as the UN says it's okay.
Pick up the phone, and in moments, you can be talking to the girl of your dreams about the dangers of fracking.
You make me hotter than the earth due to man's impact on the environment.
Liberal chat, what are you waiting for? Only $4.99 a minute. Unless you make less than $38,000 a year, then the government will foot the entire bill.
Welcome back. Now, every week I like to talk about issues that are of interest to me with people who I consider experts on the subject, and tonight's no different. So my first guest was born on the island of Lesbos and spent much of his career on the high seas harassing the Spanish and the French and people in boats. Please welcome the Pasha of Algiers, Barbarossa, or Redbeard, right?
Thank you. Yes,
Thanks for
Redbeard,
coming.
Rothbard, any Redbeard in any language.
Rothbard, was it
Yeah.
German?
Yeah.
German, okay. Also, my next guest is the third shift manager at the Queens County Morgue. Please welcome Barry Chesterfield.
It's great to be here. Take a little break. You're looking healthy.
Thank you. Feeling pretty good. Just made me nervous, though, with your glance. And finally, he is this generation's Leif Garrett, and the reason there are even more teenage girls waiting outside our studio than normal. Please welcome Justin Bieber.
What up, B-Money? How you doing?
Oh, but
Good to
B-Money.
be
I
back.
like that. Well, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm glad you could be here.
Anytime, man. I'm on my Believe tour, so I got a little break.
It's the tour is called Believe.
Yeah, if you're going to tweet about it, hashtag Believe, people.
All righty.
Okay?
First of all, speaking of Believe, I couldn't believe Donald Trump. His big announcement was that he was offering $5 million for the passport application, college record, and college application of the president. You know, Donald Trump, come on, man. Can he go away? First of all, does anybody here still hold on to any applications? Because I think by virtue of being an application, you've mailed it off somewhere. Am I mistaken?
Not a lot was written down when I was, as a young man.
As a young pirate.
As a young, yeah, it was 1470.
Sure.
Whoa.
It's old. I mean, what is this guy? What's this guy's problem? He's so, and why do people pay attention to him? Like, why is he a figure?
You know, Brian, as a singer, when I was like a kid in choir, like 4 years ago.
4 days ago.
I always used to remember my choir teacher saying, the loudest person wins.
Okay.
And that seems to be what's happening here. He's like Darren.
Can't he just be
my
content?
choir.
Can't he not be content with all his money and just shut up? I mean, you had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Were you out there bloviating all the time, making an ass out of
I
yourself?
took a couple hundred years doing that. I made an ass out of myself for a long time, and then it gets old.
Yeah.
But it takes a while. It takes a couple centuries of exorbitant wealth to really realize it don't matter.
Oh,
I can
yeah.
just have a good time.
I mean,
I'm still in it. I'm still sort of making an ass out of myself.
you'll
I
get
just
there.
got this tattoo, so that's pretty
Believe.
stupid.
So he's around for a couple of centuries. Is that even physically possible?
Oh, sure. Oh, I've seen things. I mean, eventually, we're going to have to plant him just like everyone else. But I mean, if you look at him, like a lot of what he is not real. A lot of that. I mean, people make fun of his hair, but that hair's not going to decompose.
That'll be there 500 years from now, like styrofoam.
Sure.
Yeah.
This guy, Donald Trump, imagine him in your line of work. I mean, how do you think he'd do doing what you did?
Nowadays, I could see him being a man of leisure. It's pretty much what he does. I don't want to say.
So you made a lot of money
but-
and then you kicked back.
Yeah, I mean, faked my own death, kind of walked away, let the Ottoman Empire kind of sort its own self out. But I can't see Donald Trump successfully laying siege to a city
Right.
and then giving that city over to another emperor as a gift. I just can't.
Making
I
a stupid
can't
face
really
at the
picture
city,
that. Yeah,
making some
yeah,
smug face.
Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but I don't see Donald Trump as the type of person who can, we'll put it this way, you can't talk your way through the breastplate of a baby that froze at the bottom of a river. You got to put on the gloves and get out the nutcracker and get to work. And he seems more of like a lace doily type. Woof.
Wow. Well, you know, really, Brian, I don't do a lot, okay? Ever since I was like basically a baby, I just been showing up. They dress me. They make sure I drink a smoothie. They make sure I get vocal lessons, and then I just do a show, and ladies touch me. So really, anybody could do it.
All right. On that note, we're going to take off. We'll be right back.
Hey, libertarian guys. Want to spice up your life and talk to a beautiful woman?
I want to talk to you.
A hot, lonely girl who believes strongly in the economic theories of Ludwig von Mises.
A free market economy? Ooh.
Heat up the night talking to a beautiful girl about reduced military engagement.
Do you think 9/11 was a direct result of our foreign policy? You naughty boy.
Just pick up the phone. A self-reliant individualist is eagerly awaiting your call.
Tell me how you'd pull out of the UN.
Libertarian chat. What are you waiting for? Only $4.99 a minute. In American dollars, backed only by a gold standard.
ABC's 1 + 1. Learning's great, learning's fun. Fun. Great times and diversity. We're all the same, you and me. Yay! Feeling good, having fun. Everybody's number one. Eating vegan, living green. We don't keep score, that would be mean. Pumpernickel Boulevard. Pumpernickel Boulevard. Pumpernickel Boulevard. Pumpernickel Boulevard.
Hey, Hoodie, you excited about Halloween?
Oh, yeah, you know, I really am, Brian, but I could use some help this year coming up with a costume.
Oh, sure. Okay, let me think. One time I went as a female Rambo called Rambette.
Funny, but didn't you worry about offending all the transgender and gender identity conflicted?
Not in 1987, Hoodie. Okay, how about a cowboy?
Oh, sure. Relive the glory days when anyone could get a revolver without even so much as a background check.
Okay, Captain America.
Yeah, sorry, Brian, but I want to steer clear of any blatant symbols of imperialism and hegemonic policy.
All right, God, Hoodie. Astronauts, then.
I don't think people need to be reminded we have no more space program, Brian.
Spider-Man.
Insensitive to arachnophobes.
Soldier.
11 years of war have taken their toll on our psyche, Brian.
Pirate.
Oh, sure. The whimsical bullies of the high seas.
Zombie.
Stereotype.
Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Scary, the white guy.
Priest.
Religious.
A big blue M&M.
Oh, you know, type 2 diabetes would be very proud, Brian.
Hot dog.
If I wanted to make the vegetarians feel awful.
Policeman.
You mean pepper spray man?
The Cowardly Lion from The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, yeah, there's no place like homelessness. What a grim reminder to all the Americans living on the street.
Vampire.
In the age of AIDS and hepatitis C, that promotes a very unhealthy lifestyle.
Okay, then. Problem solved.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, it's clearly Christmas time because Halloween's over.
Oh, man.
Pumpernickel Boulevard.
We are back, and with me, my guests. Let's talk about women, because women are very important. Yeah, right? Let's talk. This election, very important. Obviously, we know that they need the women vote, and it's like so clear to me that they're pandering like crazy to women. And during the third debate, I saw Barack, with his hand, he had a little pink bracelet on. It's like, I understand the wives wearing their pink dresses, but he's wearing a pink bracelet for breast cancer awareness. It's like, do you just see that as complete pandering? If you wanted women you wanted to appeal to women, what would you do?
Well, men have been doing things for the affections of women since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Now, if I really wanted to impress a woman, I would give her a city.
Yeah, that's baller, son.
And if that didn't work, if that didn't catch her eye, then I would start beheading all of her enemies.
Whoa. You go hard.
If you gave a woman a
Redbeard.
city and she didn't go for it, you would still continue to try to win her over?
Well, then I would know that she is somebody whose favor is worth the blood of many.
Yeah.
You wouldn't see her as maybe greedy, like Donald Trump's wife.
Ah, it's a city.
Okay. Barry?
Well, I wouldn't wear, all due respect, I wouldn't wear a breast cancer bracelet. From where I sit, that's not a huge problem. If I could get a bracelet like that, I would wear a bracelet that says, like, if you have long hair, please don't stand next to machinery or any kind of stamping machine or anything like that. That's, where I work, that's a much bigger issue.
Stamping machine awareness.
Stamping machine awareness, any kind of virus that rots your gut. Because that's hard on the woman, and then when it gets to my office, all of a sudden I'm calling everybody in my phone trying to get that put back together.
That's an issue that's important to you, is keeping women safe and not...
Well, they cap my OT, so it's
Wow.
it's a lot of pain all
You're
over.
trying to do right.
Goodness. So you're trying to help women stay out of the morgue,
situations
out
like
of,
that,
that wind up in your presence.
Until I like to see ladies that die of old age.
Right.
That warms my heart.
Justin, how do you think it could appeal to women?
Well, Brian, my mom is the best woman I ever met, okay? And she taught me everything I need to know about being good to ladies, okay? And that's why I'm gonna respect you and treat you right. And that's how you pander to ladies, Brian.
Oh, wow, nicely done. I bought that. I felt you were
I was
sincere.
taken in by your
that's-
charms.
I mean, but my mom is awesome.
Really? These consultants need to talk to you.
Yeah.
Because I think you're exactly what they're looking for. They need to win these ladies over.
Hey,
right?
Redbeard, you need a lady because my mom needs a city.
Well, all right. I've got a couple cities.
If anybody needs hand sanitizer or rubber gloves or the shoe cover, like those sort of things you put on top of a shoe, call me.
You're the man to talk to. So, I mean, in terms of material rewards, I mean, I'm going to have to say that these two lead the pack,
Sure.
I would think. And then
Well,
you and
know.
I are kind of way back there like, hey, I can...
You use what's at hand.
I'll get you dinner.
If I had a city, I'd give it to Barbara, my wife.
Right.
Oh, see, that's pimp enough, man.
Yeah, and there's different kinds of. Not every woman is the same. Not every woman is going to want a city.
Yeah. Most.
Yeah, some women
not bad.
would take a horse.
Yeah, that's true.
Some would take.
A car, that's like a modern horse, man.
But they will not take a vacuum cleaner on Christmas, and that's a lesson my father learned.
No.
No.
We'll be right back.
Hey, conservative guys, looking for a swell time? You're not alone.
I need someone to talk to. Maybe it's you.
Buttoned up girls want to have a good time.
You wouldn't have any regulations if you built a small business on top of me.
Share the night and learn all her intimate secrets in separate twin beds.
Ooh, pray harder. Pray harder.
Don't be shy. Get to know someone who thinks and feels like you do.
I'm so sick. But I'm not going to get health insurance just because the government says I have to.
Conservative chat. What are you waiting for? Only $4.99 a minute. Unless you make more than $100,000 a year, and then we're giving it to you for $3.99. If you're calling from the location of your offshore company, the call is $2.99. And if you made money off an inheritance this year, consider your call absolutely free. Must be voting age.
And now, the Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week.
God, you'll understand if I just take a couple of drinks, right?
The Glenn Beck Show highlight of the week could have been sponsored by you. Lots of exposure, no return on investment for almost a little money. Just email sponsor the BS of A at theblaze.com. The BS of A presents the best stuff of America with Matt Fisher. Hand sanitizer.
You know what? I don't know where you've been, what you've done, what you do for a job, or whether you clean yourself. And I don't care. Shake my hand.
Next time.
The George Foreman Grill.
Hey, conservative guys, looking for a swell time? You're not alone.
I need someone to talk to. Maybe it's you.
But we also know that there are some of you with a secret. Log cabin Republicans.
Get lost!
Share all of your intimate secrets
With a dude. I love small government and kissing other guys. We cater to your very specific needs. Let's repeal Obamacare. And if you're a dude, Let's kiss each other right on the mouth.
We won't even pretend this isn't weird.
Guys, I would love to sleep with you. Even though I can barely sleep with myself. Shh.
Log Cabin Republican Chat. Only $4.99 a minute. You know what? Calls are free. I'm sorry. You need something to go right in your life for once.
All right, welcome back. All right, Halloween's coming up Wednesday. A lot of trick-or-treating out there. I'm going to take my kids out. What are some Halloween tips for tricking or treating? I'll start with you, Barbarossa.
I'd love to make a haunted house. And one of my favorite tricks is to actually use real victims. Because you get that moment on Halloween night where they don't want to think it's a real body.
Right.
They just want to be scared. And then the next day when they read in the papers, so-and-so's missing or whatever. It's a real...
Then they make the connection and they throw
they
out
get
the
that,
candy.
and it's very funny.
Barry?
Sort of along the same lines, there's the old trick of the peeled grapes trick, where you get the bowl of peeled grapes, you tell people it's eyeballs.
Sure.
I think I tell people this all the time. Grapes are getting more and more expensive. Produce is going up. And if you live in any kind of medium-sized town, you can go to the meatpacking district or whatever and just get cow eyes. They literally feel exactly like real eyes. They still have retinal nerves on them, and then it's like not so fakey, you know.
That's nasty.
I've never gone for the peeled grapes trick. They're too small. Eyes are much bigger than people realize, and you know.
If you've ever held an eyeball in your hand, you know that a grape.
Wait, am I the only one on this panel who hasn't held an eyeball in their hand?
No, I mean, I've never held an eyeball in my hand, so I think you and I are maybe we have something in common.
You owe it to yourself. It's almost the size of a plum. Really.
Whoa.
Yeah, really good.
All right, well, I'm disturbed. I don't know, do you have any Halloween
The number
tips?
one costume for Halloween, and I don't know if you know this, is a Justin Bieber costume. Number one costume for Halloween.
Is it?
So they did a survey.
So just a short wig?
I want to say, Brian, that's exactly it. They're still selling my swoop hair that I was doing when I was like a kid.
Right,
and
and
I'm like a man now, and I'm
right.
doing this hair. So like, make sure you get the right hair.
Get the
okay?
get the right Justin Bieber wig.
Do Bieber right.
Or you'll
Be a
ruin
true
your
believer.
Halloween. Right.
And again, if you need any kind of real hair wig, don't spend a bunch of money. Go to the local coroner's office or medical examiner's office. And I got nothing but hair.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, I think that's illegal.
It looks like the floor of a barbershop sometimes.
All right, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thanks to my panel. Thanks to you for watching. Please like us on Facebook. Love us on Twitter. We've got a brand new BS of A next week. Please have a happy, safe Halloween. And remember, Christmas season starts Thursday. Good night.
Get lost!